Hey guys, what's up? It's Skylar. I'm back with another video. Just wanted to talk about um my mom and why you never see her and just reasons overall why I don't have my mom in my life right now. Um my mother is a recovering alcoholic, and actually, what a coincidence, I got this dress from her and I'm talking about her. Mom, if you're watching, just say hi. I don't care. But my YouTube videos. My mom, she's still recovering. She's about a little bit over 2 years sober. And I actually wrote this. I have this thing on my Chromebook that I want to just kind of read to her. Let me know who this is, please. So, no, not Google Slides. It's in Google Docs. This is just how I feel about my past and stuff. Where is everybody? Okay. Now these are my true thoughts. Wait, let me just close the door so you don't have to hear anything in the background. My mother is an alcoholic. Sad, I know. Well, I had to live through that. Want to know how I overcame that? It all started when I was born. I was born at 23 and a half weeks. I was 1 pound and 6 ounces. Years of living, and I beat that. My next obstacle was growing up in a damaged family. Mom coming home drunk, Dad getting mad at her for drinking and not taking care of my sister and I. My sister and I having to watch our own dad hit my mom because they would fight a lot. Then she would throw a punch at him. It only got worse from there. When I was 5, my parents finally separated. And 2 years later, I started struggling with eating. Why? Because I saw a kid get sick in the hallway, and I thought if I ate, I would get sick. I would decrease the amount of food I ate each day for the next 3 years. My teachers and parents became worried. My dad had a teacher sit with me after monitoring done by the lunch ladies didn't work. When that didn't work, my dad took me to an eating specialist. His name was Dr. Goodday. I never told my dad the reason why I stopped eating. Let me just skip the other parts. Alright. My mom had taken the pills, along with alcohol she used to numb the pain that she was feeling. Mom, stop, you're scaring Skylar. Shay, my older sister, had yelled at my mom. My mom was at her worst, in some kind of rage from drinking and taking those pills. I was crying and scared of my mom. That was the first time I actually feared my mom. I ran to my sister because she was always the one she was out. Shay picked up her phone and called my stepmom, who called the police. The police came over. My mom was awake when they came. My mother lied and said we were all right. She wanted to say something. Shay wanted to say something. Shay's my older sister. Wanted to say something. Wait. But she was too scared of the outcome. We could have been taken away and put into a foster home. That was the last thing we ever wanted. So Shay and I had to play along with my mom's lies once again. Lying was the usual thing for my mom to do so she could get out of things she knows she brought on herself. Every day I want to ask my mom this question that has been burning in my head lately. What was so wrong with Shay and I that you thought you could just walk in and out of our lives like we were some sort of train station? But I can't bring myself to ask it, because I know the answer. Nothing was wrong with you two. It was all your dad playing his games. It will be the answer, because that's what the answer always is. I don't understand how she thought she could just throw Shay and I out of her life. Like we weren't her kids. Like we weren't important to her. Sometimes I feel like she just left me for all that time and didn't think twice. I thought she didn't love me. I thought 3 years ago she loves her booze more than her children that she so desperately wanted. She once told me I had never stopped loving you. But honestly, there's no difference. She wasn't there for me when I needed her. She wasn't there to be, but she wasn't there to teach me about middle school when I was going there next year. But I learned from Shay. She wasn't there to teach me about boys and how they can be bad, but who taught me? Shay had. Shay wasn't there to teach me about puberty. Shay was. No, not. Wait. She wasn't there to teach me about puberty. Shay was. She wasn't there when I didn't know what to do and I got my first period. Shay was. You know, Shay did a pretty good job of being a mother to me. Not that I wanted her to be my full-time caretaker. I wanted my real mother to teach me the ways of life and to guide me through it. Who did that? Shay did. So not only did Shay have to be a sister, she had to be a mom and a dad. She learned to cook on the stove when she was 7. We both had to learn how to do things usually adults would do for their children. You might be wondering where my dad is in all this. Well, he owns a business that worked 24/7. He was gone all day, and when he did come home, he would ask how our day was, and we would tell stories. But when Dad's phone rang, we knew that he wouldn't be able to talk until we were in bed. So we took advantage of the time we had with him. Then the fighting began. Once he saw Mom passed out, bottle of vodka in closets. Anywhere she could hide them. Dad made up a game where the person that finds the most empty vodka bottles wins. We would get up after Mom was wasted and passed out, and the game began. My sister won. She had collected 3 bottles, when my dad and I only got 2. It shows how badly alcoholism affects your brain and body. After we found the bottles, Dad would ask for them. He would turn them into the police. But she needed alcohol to get rid of emotional pain. She wanted to feel numb. I wish she hadn't done this to herself. Everything would be okay if she didn't turn to alcohol. Her vodka was her partner in crime. Like she needed to be surrounded by it. My mother was on her deathbed of January 2017. She killed 98% of her liver. If my grandmother and stepmom hadn't found her in her house when they did, she would have died. She basically had to be carried into the hospital. She has been sober for the past 2 years. That wasn't the end of our journey. My mother is also a smoker. Just like Maria, her best friend, Maria had died of lung cancer in November of 2013. We didn't even get to say goodbye. She didn't want us to see her die. I miss her. If Shay wasn't by my side, I would turn to Maria for her help. She was like another mother. I'm gonna skip some more parts. I also have this other problem, cutting. I started cutting when I was in 6th grade, when I was 12. The reason why I started cutting was because I had and still have problems in my life. My dad. I'm just damaged or some other responsibility for him. I'm just a problem for everyone around me. Kids laugh at me every day. I act so confident and make it seem like I'm fine, but I'm not. I could be crying and say I'm fine, and you'd walk away ignoring the emotions on my face. They show that I'm not fine. You don't hear the things I'm thinking about myself. Every thought is a battle, and I don't think I'm winning anymore. I want to tell people about what's going on. People don't know what it's like to want to die the minute you wake up. Depression makes you a ticking time bomb. You never know when it just might explode. I've told my dad why I started cutting and stopped eating. He was just in pure shock, like he had just opened his eyes. Dad just couldn't take anymore. 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3 cuts, 4. I wish people knew I couldn't take it anymore. Nobody knows how many times I would fall asleep hoping I didn't wake up the next morning. The doctor always told me to take my pills. They would only make me better. But they didn't, because my pillow only got wetter. I had dried up tears on my pillow from the night before. My parents never knew that I was suffering, pain and sadness, and nobody to turn to. My life had just been a struggle from the start. Sometimes I wonder how I made it this far. If I had a quarter for every time someone made fun of me, let me tell you, I'd be a millionaire. But I didn't get that quarter. When I lived with my mom, we could barely afford a loaf of bread. Most of the time we ate TV dinners and cereal or bread if we could afford that much. Mom never could keep a job for long. She usually was caught drinking. Or she would come to work drunk. I then realized if Shay and I wanted to have money, we would have to afford things that we needed. We would both have to ask the neighbors for it or find it on the streets. So here's the next part. Shay made $40. She bought a doll car instead of other things we needed. She went to the checkout line and we needed $1 more. She asked my mother, who's drunken on pills, for $1. My mother was outraged. She had a huge fit right in the middle of Walmart, yelling at Shay for asking for $1. Mom had $1. She just wanted to use it to be able to buy cigarettes or vodka. One day we were at Target. I earned $15 and wanted a toy. So we went to the toy section and I picked one. But in the middle of shopping, I asked my mom if we could put it back. She asked why. I said that we had no money for food. I didn't want to spend money on something I didn't need. So I put it back and gave the money to my mom. I wanted her to use it for buying food because I knew it was already hard for us to get by. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of parts like, yeah. So guys, that is legit my life. That's not even half of it. I wrote so much on this Chromebook. I wrote like 6 pages worth. I just skipped through it all. Now, guys, I definitely do encourage you to make the right decisions. Don't do what my mother did. Please. You're older. When you guys have kids, you're going to want them to think, wow, I have the best parent. You're not going to want them to think, oh, my parent is not an addict or whatever the case may be. Like, you'd want your child to love you and not fear you and not like want to come home because they know you're not there. You're not going to be there for them. Please, I'm saying I'm not trying to make you guys like not drink or not smoke ever, but like I'm just saying it's not a good idea. If you want your kids to feel good about you as a parent, don't make your kids go through what I had to go through. This is no joke, real. And that's the reason why my mom's not really in my videos. I wish she was. She's my mom after all. Just don't put your kids through what I had to get put through. If you want your kids to look up to you and say, wow, my parents are awesome, like my parents are the best, don't put them through that. If you want them to value you as parents, if you want them to care if you're in their lives or not, be a good parent. I strongly advise that. Don't. This stuff that I had to go through with my mother wasn't good. So please, guys, make the right decisions. Don't become addicted. Just don't do this kind of stuff. I read you my story, and that's not even half of it. I talked about my mother being an alcoholic. I talked about, you guys just don't make the wrong decisions. Alcoholism is a disease. It's a scary disease. Help your kids in the future. You want your kids to feel safe with you, don't you? Well, they're not going to if you're not a good parent, or if you're an addict, or whatever the case may be for them. And I just hope you guys liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and in the comments below, share any of your struggles you have. I am always here for you guys, because you guys gave me so much support. So I love you guys.